Hi, welcome everybody. Welcome to the channel. So you are on Chats with T, and my name is Tessie, and I'm so glad you're here. If you somehow found your way to my channel, welcome, and welcome again. So on this channel, we talk about a lot of things. We talk about Black women's, we talk about trending topics, relationships. Sometimes we talk about my lifestyle as well and just things in general. But today we're going to be talking about anxiety and this pressure that a lot of Black women feel to be perfect, to be perfectly dressed, perform perfectly in all endeavors of life, and this unrealistic expectations that Black women place on themselves in terms of attractiveness, in terms of in terms of appearances, the obsession with appearances and that pressure that they're placing on themselves, and how it leads to things like getting boob jobs, BBLs, and all of that stuff. Guys, I have been very, very busy. This past few days has been crazy. If you didn't know, or if you haven't seen on my community tab, I did finally choose the engagement ring of my dreams. Me and G, we went to Goldsmiths and we picked up the engagement ring of my dreams after months and months. I mean, I was sweating months. I was looking for this ring for months, and the ring that I originally wanted was out of stock, and we found the ring of my dreams. So very, very, very happy, very excited. And yeah, we're waiting for the ring to get delivered. It's going to get engraved. It's going to have G and T. Oh my God, the fact that we actually have like a whole drink named after G and T. It's crazy. So I've been very, very excited. It's been a very busy and crazy past few weeks. We just came back from our trip to Poland, and then we got the ring, and then a couple of other things have happened. So yeah, I haven't posted a video in a couple of days, or in almost 2 weeks, I think. But today I said, let me just post this topic, this really important topic. And guys, my engagement process was kind of interesting because I wanted to be part of the ring buying process, and G wanted me to be a part of that. You know, I feel like a lot of women, when they get proposed to, it's something that always just happens to them. They're never part of the process. And don't get me wrong, I do think a guy should be the one to propose, just as G is going to be the one to propose. And I know when that's happening, but I don't know how. So that makes it exciting. But what really makes it more exciting is that he included me in this process of me getting to choose my ring. He considered my thoughts and my feelings. And I feel like a lot of women, when they get engaged, they're just given the ring. And because they're so happy that they've just been proposed to, they don't really think about the fact that, you know, do they like the ring? Do they even want this ring? Is this ring something that they like? They just accept it because they're happy to be proposed to, you know? But for me and him, we don't see it that way. We're not doing each other a favor by being married, right? So we want to get married because we love each other and we want to start that life together. So he wanted to include me in that process, and I really appreciate it. The consideration is incredible. And so what makes this proposal exciting is not just because obviously we want to take that next step, but also because when he does propose, which is happening very soon, like I said, I know when it's happening, it will be with a ring that I love, with a ring that I'm happy to receive, that I've chosen, and he's given me that chance to choose it. So I'm very, very excited. I just wanted to explain a little bit about our process, because when G told me he wanted to marry me, we had a whole chat, and he was like, I want you to be part of this process. I feel like with the engagement process, it's just something that happens really fast, and it happens to women a lot, and a lot of women aren't actually part of that process of choosing their ring. So I'm just really happy that I've got the ring that I want. So now when the proposal happens, it's going to be with a ring that I love. I'm just really excited about that. So yeah, I just wanted to explain that a little bit before we talk about today's topic and what I wanted to discuss today about the obsession with Black women feeling the need to be perfect, feeling this external and internal pressure. And this has happened to me a lot. So this is actually a really deep topic for me, because it's happened to me a lot in my past, even in my present, some of my present. So guys and girls, grab your drinks. I have with me today a glass of This is like rosé juice. There's no alcohol in this whatsoever. There's no alcohol in this drink at all, so don't be fooled with the wine glass. But grab yourself a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, and come and sit down with me and let's discuss this obsession with Black women feeling like they need to be perfect all the time. Because this is a very, very true and serious obsession that actually leads to the development of anxiety and many other issues, body dysmorphia issues, depression, so on and so forth. Okay. That is lovely. That is lovely. I feel like women, we love sweet drinks. But yeah, that is lovely. Okay, so what am I talking about when I'm talking about women's obsession with being, especially Black women, this obsession with feeling like we need to be perfect and feeling like we need to be the best? There is this ongoing attitude, and I think it's prevalently online, because offline I don't see this. But there's this prevalent attitude when it comes to Black women that a lot of Black women feel like they need to be perfectly dressed all the time, glamorous all the time. Otherwise, they are seen as not valuable. They're seen as either they like to use the word average as an insult, and then they wonder why people don't want to be called average, or they're seen as ugly per se, and that's just not true. It's a terrible, despicable mindset that's online, and most of the people peddling these mindsets are very superficial and incredibly unhappily in their own lives and relationships anyway. So yeah, that's completely false. But also there's this mindset that a lot of Black women have, where they feel like they have to be 110% more attractive and more achieving in everything they do just to be seen on the same level as other races, especially other races of women. And that's not fair, and it's not true, and it's not right. And it starts from a young age. The Black woman is told you need to be 110% better at your studies, in how you dress, in how you groom yourself. A lot of Black women compete in the hygiene Olympics, obsession with being seen as the cleanest type of woman, not just in the way they treat their hygiene, but also in the way they clean their homes as well. And a lot of Black women are also feel like, women of other races are able to go around dressed down. There's this whole image of the white girl with the messy hair bun and wearing Uggs and leggings and some sort of gym wear or whatever, and lounging around the place and going around, and everyone's fine with that. But then when a Black woman does something like that, has a similar laid down image, maybe she's wearing a bonnet on her head and she's going outside and she's got leggings and boots, some sort of relaxed image, then people are calling that Black woman ghetto, they're calling her scruffy, they're calling her unkempt, all sorts of things. So a lot of Black women do struggle with this, and I understand where it comes from. This need and this desire to be dressed up all the time. And you see a lot of Black women even being dressed up all the time. And this isn't just Black women, it's women in general, but just feeling like you can't dress down and feeling like you can't be relaxed. This hypervigilance is prevalent in everything a lot of Black women do, from the way they dress to the way they speak to the way they approach people, right? And there's this mindset that a lot of women feel, where they feel even just popping out to the shops to buy a carton of milk, they'll dress up. Because where does this come from? It comes from this mindset that has been implanted into women, that they have no value unless they are dressed up and looking good all the time. A lot of women feel like this. They feel like they have no value unless they are dressed up to the nines. And a lot of women even dehumanize themselves. And it also comes from what they see, what they watch, the kind of media they consume. Ladies, please, this is 2023. Stop consuming media that isn't good for you. But this does happen a lot. And a lot of women, like I said, they dehumanize themselves, especially Black women. They feel as if sometimes when they're not dressed up, they're not, and they're dressed down, or they're dressed in comfortable wear, that suddenly strips them of all the fantastic traits that they have as an individual, all the wonderful personality traits that they have as an individual. Even this obsession and this desire to be the best in every single thing you do, that comes from a culture where, because Black women haven't been seen on the same level, this overcompensation just to get on the same level as people who haven't really needed to push themselves in the same way. And a lot of Black women are struggling with this. And this kind of obsession as well, this kind of desire and need to feel like they need to be perfect in their appearance and everything, otherwise they feel like they're not going to get the outcomes they want and get the kind of life that they want, the relationships they want, the kind of jobs they want. This is the kind of thing that leads to eating disorders, anorexia. Anorexia is the need to feel like you need to be perfect, even though being thin is not being perfect. This is very strange and bizarre. Have you seen how many thin women are out there? How many thin women do you know have actual perfect lives? Nobody has a perfect life, first of all. But this desire to be seen and to be perfect leads to anxiety. It leads to mental illness and depression. And a lot of Black women, especially when it comes to this excessive narrative and the glamourization of Black women, the hypersexuality, a lot of Black women feel like if they don't fall into that glamourization, which is also a trap, because women who glamorize themselves a lot are also demonized by men a lot. So that's a trap. Just to let you know that. But a lot of Black women who feel like they don't fall into that, they then feel like they don't matter, they don't have any value, and that's incredibly problematic. Not even just that, the anxiety that Black women put in themselves when it comes to their careers, when it comes to their grades, you experience from a young age how much you have to work hard, and your parents tell you that in order to move ahead over people who have more generational wealth than you have to work 10 times as harder. That already puts a state of hypervigilance into the mind of a Black woman, and women in general, right? But most specifically a Black woman. A lot of Black women are operating on anxiety, survival anxiety, survival that's just completely and utterly fueled by anxiety, right? And this is why you see. Have you guys looked at that program? I think it was a program or a movie, The Other Black Girl on Hulu, where there's always this competition when there's two Black ladies in the office, and sometimes instead of coming together, there'll be this weird competition between the two of them. Like there can only be one Black girl in the office. This is all from the obsession and desire to be seen as perfect. And it happens a lot to women, especially Black women. And one thing I would say is I actually experienced this pressure so much. Guys, I've spoken to you in the past about my eating disorder history, my anorexia in the past, which the anorexia was such a sad and ridiculous period, because even when I think about it now, I barely have any pictures of my anorexia period, only the ones I really posted on my community tab, because I was too busy starving to actually enjoy my life. So I don't really have many pictures of myself during that period, unfortunately. And I can't even remember a lot of what happened because I was just so hungry all the time that I can't even remember most of that period. It's just an entire blur. And that was just not necessary to do to myself, or for what. And I want Black women to understand that killing yourself for the pursuit of perfection, no one cares whether you destroy your body permanently in the pursuit of perfection or whether you destroy your mind. You'll just end up another damaged person. And everyone would just be like, oh, well, that's a shame. She damaged herself. It's really unfortunate. And then they'll just move on. And you would have just destroyed yourself for no reason. So it's definitely something that I've noticed a lot. A lot of Black women feel the pressure that, they have to be dressed up all the time. They feel like they need to be glamorous all the time. I actually think Cardi B is someone who she feels like she has to. Obviously, she's a celebrity, so there's a completely different lifestyle. But she definitely strikes me as the kind of woman that feels like she has to be dressed up in front of Offset all the time. Like she can never just dress down even just once. She can never just be in a relaxed state of being. And you know, one thing I really like about Greg, I'll give you guys a lesson in consideration here. I remember Greg coming to me one day and he was like, I love the way you dress and take care of yourself and how you always try and make sure you look, well put together, polished, well kept. I really like that. But, I just want you to know that you can be casual if you want to be. You don't need to wear heels that hurt you when we're going out all the time. And you don't need to, sit down and always feel like you need to get ready when I'm coming over to your house. You can always just relax and wear whatever makes you feel comfortable. I just want you to know that that doesn't change how I see you. And that was really beautiful to hear because I think a lot of women feel that if they are dressed down, the man will lose attraction to them. And this is the state that a lot of women are operating in. And it really takes a while before you get to the enlightened stage where I said a lot of people are not there yet, where you realize that actually being dressed to the nines all the time doesn't stop your man from losing attraction to you. And it doesn't stop you from being treated badly or from being cheated on. How many people are dressed to the nines all the time and still get discarded and trashed? It's about the human connection you build, how strong that is with somebody, and whether they respect you and whether you respect them and they've made the commitment to continue to respect and love you continuously. That is what will keep your relationship happy, what will keep you happy. And it doesn't matter, that kind of connection, it doesn't stop just because you've decided to wear sweatpants and jogging bottoms that day. It doesn't stop. And I think a lot of Black women are also operating in this anxiety filled state where they feel like they have to be the cleanest, the most glamorous. And this is why you see this increase in boob jobs and BBLs and all of that stuff. Because the obsession with trying to be seen as perfect, it crushes your brain. The pressure, the internal pressure you're putting on your brain, it crushes you, and I've had to even come to the conclusion that it was okay for me to just chill out and just relax when I'm in my house with G, just relax and dress down, wear whatever it is I want to wear and be comfortable. And that is really when you've realized that you understand that what you have with someone supersedes how you look. And a lot of people haven't reached this stage, unfortunately. And because we live in a world where women are pushed to only value the outside appearance that they have, a lot of women are left lacking internally, especially Black women, left lacking internally in terms of how they feel on the inside about things that don't pertain to how they look. And also, even just their personal, their personal achievements and stuff like that. Black women are also really anxious when it comes to things like career, when it comes to things like, grades in school. Oh my God, when I was younger, the stress on grades, as if grades were the only thing that determined whether you achieved well in life or not. And I think a lot of people, especially Black women, because a lot of Black women don't come from that, two-parent home. A lot of Black women, some of them do, and like me, but even then, when you come from a two-parent home, is that two-parent home stable? You have to think about that as well, because some people's parents are more stable. You understand what I'm saying? Even if you have two-parent homes, sometimes those two parents are crazy. So, I mean, you're no worse off than if you didn't have them at all. So I think a lot of Black women do struggle as well when it comes to things like their grades as well, because they've been pushed from a young age that this is the only thing that gives them value, their grades, their appearance, their financial success and all of that, and their career. And I feel like a lot of black women have just not gotten to the stage yet where they realize that they have value, no matter how they look, no matter what the grades are, no matter what the career status is, they have value. And that causes a lot of anxiety. And I myself have been dealing with so much anxiety, guys. So much anxiety. Isn't she lovely? I've been dealing with so much anxiety based on like my career and just my business and other stuff like that. I'm not even worried about bills because my bills are paid for months and G takes such good care of me. It's really quite incredible how much care he takes of me. But my own personal goals on myself were like crushing my brain. And I really needed to give myself time to like think and just relax and understand that it's okay if I don't want certain things anymore. I actually turned down a very lucrative job offer recently, and this isn't the first job offer I've turned down. Previously, a couple of months ago, I turned down a very lucrative job offer in central London because it just didn't align with the kind of lifestyle I wanted to live, with the kind of things that I wanted to build with G. Now that we're building a life together, it just didn't align. And I've gotten to the stage where my self-awareness is so high because I realized that this job I just turned down recently was for the most incredible company. I went to the office and they offered me the job, the whole job offer, contract, everything. And when I was there, I just felt so much dread. I felt sick. I felt like vomiting being there. My brain, my body was thinking, it was screaming. I was screaming at myself. And I just could not wait to get out of there, even though it was a fantastic opportunity. Because I realized that there were several things about the job that I didn't like, and I just didn't want that kind of lifestyle. It was very high powered, very, well paying. The bonuses were crazy, but I just didn't want that kind of low work life balance. The hours were ridiculous. I feel like it was something for the hours were just not what I wanted in a job. And I wasn't even sure if I was going to be focusing full time on my business or not. And I just realized I didn't really need to put myself under that kind of pressure. I was putting myself under pressure if nobody asked me to put myself under that type of pressure. I was doing that of my own accord. And that internal pressure was crushing my brain. It was crushing me. And I had to take a step back, because the anxiety that it was producing was giving me sleepless nights, giving me headaches. And I was thinking, why am I putting myself under this pressure? I'm not rushing. I'm not worried about bills. My entire lease is paid off. I have extra funds if I so need. G takes care of everything else for me. So what's the rush? And when I turned down that job, oh my God, the relief I felt was incredible. I felt relieved. I felt peace. I felt happy. And I said to myself, thank you for doing something that you know is best for yourself. And I feel like a lot of women are, especially Black women, they're anxious. And the anxiety comes from this internal pressure that Black women are placing on themselves to be the best and to be the most attractive and to be the most highest paid and to be the most highest graded person, when actually a lot of people who are the highest paid and have the highest grades, it doesn't mean that you're going to find the success that you want. Yes, it makes it more likely, but still it doesn't mean that it's going to work out that way. And on top of that, I do hear what a lot of Black women say when they feel like certain other races of women can be mediocre in certain things and be completely fine, whereas in Black women do feel that they have to be the highest performing in everything. They have to be the most amazing looking Black women with the most amazing bodies and with the most amazing fashions and and this is where the anxiety is coming from for a lot of Black women. They feel like if they're not those things, then they won't be able to get the kind of things they want or the lifestyle they want. It's not true. Don't listen. It's not true. And I really need Black women to stop consuming certain media that is created to destroy your self-confidence and create necessary insecurities in you that would lead to overthinking, anxiety, depression, and loss of self-worth. I really need Black women to stop doing this. Another thing I want to say as well is that it's okay to dress down or be casual when you want to be. I like to look good and I like to dress up. But I also understand that I still have my value even when I dress down and even when I just want to look relaxed. That hasn't changed who I am. And I really need Black women to understand that it's okay if you don't dress up to the nines every day or you just want to look relaxed. You're completely fine. And that doesn't change your character, your personality, the wonderful things that make you you. And also, I need Black women to understand that all of this external and internal pressure, because external pressure is the beauty standards. That's the external pressure. But then the internal pressure is the standards you place on yourself and, the timeline you put on yourself to achieve those standards. And I need Black women to understand that until you accept that you do not need to be perfect to get the life that you want and deserve, and that you don't need to be perfect to please anybody else, you will continue to fall into things like this obsession with plastic surgery and wanting to do boob jobs and chin fillers and neck removal. Just saying neck removal. Okay, don't remove your neck. Don't remove your neck. But you know what I mean? Botox and BBLs and on the men's side, it's leg lengthening surgery. Until you realize that you don't need to be perfect, until you crush the desire to feel like you need to be perfect, you'll continue to fall into those kind of things. And the worst thing, it doesn't matter if you do those things as many times as you like. You can change your head shape and change your body shape as many times as you like. It won't quench the thirst. It won't quench the emptiness in you until you accept that you do not need to be perfect to get the kind of life you deserve and the kind of life you want for yourself. So I've realized this. I've come to this realization long ago. Is why I'm completely healed, and I've been healed for several years. And I operate on a level that is just unmatched. I know that now. But I feel like a lot of Black women don't understand this, and I just want you to understand that you don't need to be perfect. Like, it's okay to just be as you are. Of course, take care of your body, take care of yourself, continue to try your best to keep yourself in good shape. But it's your mind that's the jewel here. Your mind is the most important and precious thing to you in your life. And I've realized that without my mind, I'm nothing. My outside appearance, my style, my dressing, whatever, that's all well and good, but my mind is the real jewel and the real gem, and that's the most important thing. And I don't do anything that would jeopardize my mind and my ability to think and my brain's ability to function. And also give yourself some breathing room. Give yourself some space. Give your brain some space to think. Give your brain some space to breathe and yourself some space to breathe. Don't be so hard on yourself with all the expectations, because I feel like a lot of Black women put a lot of pressure on themselves, appearance-wise, in all manners, in all areas. When you give yourself, your brain, space to think, your brain will come up with solutions to your issues. When you don't overload it with thoughts and information, your brain will come up with the solutions to the issues that you're facing. So I really want Black women to remember this. And also, don't watch anti-Black women content that's designed to emotionally affect you and enrage you. This is all rage bait, by the way. It's all rage bait. Most of the people that are creating this content couldn't even dream of having the life they wish to have. So don't even listen to all of this. A lot of the people creating this content are not emotionally regulated, and they're one step away from doing something crazy and ending up in a slammer. So don't even listen to anti-Black women content. Don't listen to all of this. Your job as a Black woman is to emotionally regulate yourself, keep your mind free of over worrying and anxiety, and stop feeling like you have, like there's the pressure to be perfect, and start doing the things that make you happy and listen to your body and your mind. That's the most important thing. Believe me, listening to my body and my mind has gotten me to the position that I am, gotten me to the level where I'm extremely happy and I'm loved and I'm in love and I'm enjoying my life. I'm enjoying my life so much. So don't listen to any of the nonsense that you're hearing. Also, try your best to, you know what will put less pressure on you as well, is you need to understand how to tune out people that you don't really need to listen to. So if you don't like what someone is saying, you don't need to listen to them. This is the whole point of being an adult. You can choose who you listen to and who you don't. That's the beauty of being an adult. That's why I love adulthood. You don't have to listen to everybody that drops words or opinions. It's up to you to decide to either take the meat or and spit out the bones, or just completely ignore them altogether. There's nothing anyone can do about you deciding to ignore someone that you don't want to listen to. What are they going to do? Arrest you because you don't want to listen to an opinion? As Black women, you have the choice to choose what enters your head. So think about that and make the right choice, because that also will reduce the internal pressure in your mind. It will reduce the anxiety. Making a choice to decide what you listen to. So, in summary, you don't need to be worried about being perfect. Nobody is perfect. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. You don't need to go to all these extreme lengths, such as eating disorders and, depression and all of those things. You're just going to hurt yourself and you're just going to become another damaged person. And that's not really going to do anything for anyone. No one will really care if you hurt or damage yourself. That's one thing I want you to understand. So don't bother doing it. And reduce the kind of toxic content that you watch. Your mind is the most important thing. It's okay for you to be relaxed, dress how you want. You don't always have to feel like you have to be dressed up all the time to have value. It's not true. Obviously, I love dressing up, and if you love dressing up, great. But I just want you to know that. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Guys, I want to go and I need to go because I was actually in the middle of doing something and I'm actually on my way out soon. But thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Oh my gosh, I keep forgetting to say that. I don't know why I keep forgetting to say that. I just don't know. I don't know. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, I look forward to all your comments. Sometimes I forget to respond to some comments. Honestly, I'm not going to be responding that much anymore because I'm just becoming so busy now. But just know that I appreciate all the comments. Unless you're a whack job, then you just get blocked and no one cares. But yeah, I appreciate all the comments, all the likes, all the subscribers, and all the likes and comments on my community tab. Guys, I'm not really someone who's like obsessed with compliments. I don't really care if random people compliment me or not because it doesn't really change my life in any way. But thank you so much for the lovely comments and stuff like that. I really appreciate it. And yeah, it's nice, I guess. So thank you very much for that. So guys, don't forget, I have posted some shorts on my engagement ring shopping process and the story. So if you want to go and watch that, I'll put the link up here now. You can go watch it. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. So I will see you guys later. And yeah, thanks for watching. And God bless. And I'll see you whenever I see you. Bye.